Ciao, everyone. I was going to say Buona Domenica, but no, it's Saturday. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you're having a great day, no matter what day it is. You having a good day, Alfred?
The sun is out. We actually made the right call. I mean, tomorrow is going to be like Hurricane, I don't know who, Guido.
That's one thing about the weather in January and February. It's very uncertain, right?
It's cold and it's windy and it's raining in January. Hopefully by the second half of February, it's going to loosen up so we don't
Usually by Carnevale, which we go to every year, right, in Acciajuoli. It's really nice.
No Carnevale this year in February, and also no Feast of Santa Agata. Canceled.
But the good thing, did an entire episode on Santa Agata and also on the Carnevale in Acciajuoli. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Esther and Alfred, and we come to you every week talking about different topics here in Sicily, and we also have videos on Sicily, right? And if you've missed it, I just published Mezzo Iuso, which is in the province of Palermo.
They have two of the most beautiful interiors of churches that I've seen. Those one of them was the Byzantine church, the Greek church.
There's a Latin church, right, yeah, and a Greek Orthodox. Very, very
gem.
incredible.
Hey,
town. Friends, where are you watching from? Leave us a comment, and if you have any questions for us, also leave us a comment. But we're here to talk to you about some of the pros and cons of living in Sicily, right? So a lot of people, it's their dream, right, Alfred? It's their dream to live in Sicily or Italy, but there are some pros and cons. You want to start out?
Well, you know, Poor Richard's Almanac up in New England. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. A stitch in time saves 9. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
I think what you have to do is you don't just look and leap, which is the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, is they get intoxicated by coming here on a tour or a trip. And then, 6 months later, they got to, try to move here. And they really haven't investigated. Mm-hmm. They haven't investigated exactly what it is when you go to another country, a foreign country, okay? Maybe the tour operator put them on a bus and took them through a town, but they don't know anything about that town. They don't know anything about the town, okay? Where to live, where anything. So I think you have to prepare a lot better
and
than
also, for me, being here full year, every season is so different. So you have to figure out to, up in the mountains, it's colder, it's a little bit warmer by us over here in Acciajuoli. But really, if you want to come here for 3 months or to live here full time, come at certain times of the year.
Here's what I know, okay? I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of humorous stories today. Whenever you come, make sure you bring a variety of clothes, all right? It's usually important. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick little story, okay, Esther, you don't mind.
Wait, so are we starting with the pros or the cons?
Well, that's a pro. Make sure you plan your clothing properly.
Okay, but you've got a good story, and now we've got to follow up. Go ahead.
20 years ago, on my first trip here, 22 years ago, Massimo Grimaldi, my law partner, and I, they lost my luggage. Okay, and in those days, I didn't do any prep work. I just had my briefcase with me. All my clothes were in that stupid piece of luggage, okay? And after 3 days, my underwear at nighttime was literally walking right to the chair. I was going bananas, okay? So finally, Massimo says, come on, let's go to Scaringi. That was the name of the store. Scaringi and Mr. Bianco. We'll see if we can find you something. Now, look at, I'm a big guy, all right? I wear XXL. My underwear, I wear boxes. I mean, I know that might be TNT, but anyways, I went right for the underwear department in Scaringi, and I picked up the thing, and there's a picture there of underwear. XXL, boom. I bought two sacks of them, 6 underwears. Brought them home. Couldn't wait to put them on. I put them on. I couldn't get them over my knees.
What'd you do with them?
This XXL ended up being, like in the United States, a men's either a small or medium. And so anyways, I kept them. I brought them home, gave them to my son Matthew, who was like a rail. He says, Dad, they're too big, the XXL. I said, believe me, try them on. They were skin tight on him. So Yes, they have beautiful clothing shops here.
You know, that happened to me a couple times. I bought a female small or medium, and I couldn't get it past my calves, right? Because the sizes are very different.
I think what you have to do is you always have to carry a change on your carry-on, at least
and
one,
especially
right?
if you're an XL, bring plenty of
double
clothes,
XL.
right?
And
all right,
shoes too.
Shoes too, right?
Everybody's shoes is about that big. Okay, men's shoes. Like I wear a size 13. They don't make 13s here. It's impossible. Even today, I get shipped my daughter Jen's house, and she ships them here to me because you can't find decent shoes in big sizes. So that's right off the get-go. You have to have a decent wardrobe.
Quick hello to our friends Joe and Suacione.
Hi, Joe.
Ciao, Jim Ingram. B and Dawn are
Love you,
here.
B.
From Situate. I'm really enjoying
Hey,
Gaetano's trunk. Great.
Thank you,
Gaetano's trunk is one of Alfred's books.
Hi,
Ciao, Mark from Connecticut. Joe and Sue are in New Jersey. Living simply. Hello, Gigi and Jeff, living in Sicily. Loving it, but living reality. I want to know from you guys, what you think are some of the pros and cons? I know there's some other expats here. Buongiorno from Elisa and Tony on Long Island. Maria, ciao Maria, buongiorno.
Ireland.
We have
Ireland.
Stephen De Domici.
That's good advice for lots of things. Yeah.
Planning, right?
You know,
wait a second, let me just say hello to Alicia from Florida.
Hey, she has the same name as you.
Hi, my sister's here.
Sister. Hey,
that's awesome.
Bern.
Ciao, Bern. From New York. We've got lots of people here. Okay, we've got Pat Gelfano is here from New York. You just froze. Good day. Hi, Bernadette. Let's see. Are we back on?
Right.
We were having a little bit of, you're taking fashion this morning and wasn't told.
Okay.
Carmen is here. Ciao, amici. So I want to know, you guys, if you are an expat, what you like, what are some of the pros and cons? And I want to talk a little bit about the infrastructure here. Because when I first moved here, I didn't drive, and we're going to talk about driving later. But the sidewalks, right? It took a few years for them to build some sidewalks for me to walk from here to my friend's house, which is about a mile away. In a lot of places, you know, the potholes, it's a big issue. It's a big problem.
They don't have any money in Sicily. End of story, okay? None, zero. They're so broke, they can't pay attention. That's how broke they are in this country. So the infrastructure is terrible. We've had, every time it rains, I hold my breath because the sewers always back up, and I've already blown out my engine, and you were stuck with me because I got stuck in water. So that's a enormous con.
Ciao. Are we
Oh my God, we just got kidnapped. Sorry about that. But anyway,
we're having some major internet issues, and that is another issue here, right? The internet is a big problem here.
Yeah, the internet stinks. It really stinks. We don't have the fiber optics over here. Of course, when I first got here years ago, it was telephone dial-up with the thing going around like this, all in all and all. But listen, I said to you, a stitch in time saves 9. The other thing is measure 9 times and cut once, okay? Because you're on your own in a foreign country. And when you have to negotiate things, such as simple things, How do you get the electricity turned on? Where do you pay the bill? How do you get a resident card? How do you open a bank account? Okay. So most people who come here, they don't speak Italian. Am I correct in saying that? They don't speak Italian. So what happens is they expect people in the small little communities here to be able to speak English. And guess what? They don't speak English. They try to speak English, but they don't speak English. I don't care what you say. They don't speak English.
That's a big issue. You know, when you come here, I just think out of respect, you should learn the language and try to get by, at least have minimal amount of Italian. And, you know, that's a big thing here, because when I came here, I spoke zero Italian. And it took me some time to learn some of the words. But really, when I was really accepted was when I learned a few Sicilian words.
You know, what I was going to say is money. Okay, getting money. Okay, you get ripped off every time you go to an ATM machine and you take money from your American bank account. You get ripped off. So one of the first things you need to do is need to open up a bank account. And if you go to your bank, say for example Bank of America, and you have it wired into your bank account here in Italy, you get screwed. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to a company like TransferWise. Okay. It's a company devoted exclusively for wiring international funds. So it's a bank, but that's all they do, okay? You give them your banking information from the States, and they'll open up an account for you, and then they'll give you an IBAN number. See, over here in Europe, we use IBAN numbers to wire in. And it's really quick, it's really efficient, and the best thing about it is it's the best currency rate.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you know how much cash money I have every month hanging around for the whole month? About 150 to 200 euro. That's it. I have 3 credit cards. They all give me cash back. All right. And they're from America. And I pay my credit cards down every month for my American money. I don't have any money. Okay. But you can't get stuck. You cannot get stuck. And, you know, when you're traveling over from the States here, make sure you separate your cards. Okay. So put one in one location, put another one in another location, because if you get pickpocketed, Right. If you get pickpocketed, you're, ciao, see you later. But cash money, negotiating everyday things that we take into consideration
can be challenging, especially the first few years.
It is.
Keep less than 5,000 in the account. Otherwise, the bank charges you even more money to maintain. Dan C is watching us from Castellamare. Dan, I can't remember where
I
you're
have
from.
Euro credit, and my balance is a little bit higher than that. Are you a citizen? Italian citizen?
Tony is here. Anthony.
I'm curious whether he's a citizen.
Dan, are you a citizen? Leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Anthony, we had a great chat with Anthony a few weeks ago.
That's a good bank.
Make sure you go on this chat, and I'll leave you a
Tony,
link. Bank dei Monte Paschi doesn't charge
the oldest
service
bank. That's the oldest bank in Italy. Did you know that? The first bank, it's up in Siena. It was up in Siena.
I'm curious.
Opened by the Romans, Anthony. How are you, Anthony? Look what a handsome guy.
I'm curious.
That Anthony, I'm telling you.
I'm curious.
My heart
to
goes
hear
a flutter when I see him.
I'm curious to hear about the expats.
Anthony.
What are some of the pros and cons? You know, Dan wrote something interesting on the Facebook page when I posted that we were coming here and talking about the pros and cons. He said that sometimes he gets gypped at the market when they find out he's American. Well, that's an interesting point, because for me, and, you're going to say they're my friends, but for me, they're very generous. In fact, here what they do is with the fruit, they weigh the fruit. Everything goes by the kilos. You don't just buy one bread, you measure it, right?
They weigh
it. They weigh it. And also with the fish, and I was telling Alfred yesterday, the guy always weighs my mussels, because I had kotsi yesterday, weighs my mussels and then takes 2 handfuls and puts them in there. And the same thing with the fruit and vegetable.
Wait a minute, Esther. That's the old flirting with Esther routine. What she doesn't see is he puts the thumb on the scale. These guys are bandits.
Some of those places.
That's because you flirt with them. I can't flirt with them. I'm too old.
No, because you have to make friends. That's the basic thing, Al. You have to make friends with these guys.
I was speaking to somebody today, right? They had very low water pressure. Okay, they live in Lazio, up by near Rome. So they went and get a water tank. See, in Italy, what you do is you can buy these big, huge water tanks made out of plastic, and typically they put them on the roof or else in the house. And it's the water company comes and fills it up. So when it's backup water, or some people even use it for fresh water. The first guy that came over quoted €3,000 to install the thing. €3,000. So my friend said, hey, that's a little bit too much money. Asked around, a local guy came over, did the same job, €400. Okay, so you have to be really careful. Now, fortunately, after all this time, we have good people, but we've been here for a while. We have a good plumber. She has a good electrician. We have good painters, good people who help us out with the maintenance of the house. But it wasn't that easy.
It's getting the respect. It's earning the respect of the people, right? Francesca down at the fruit and vegetable place, first couple of years, she was a little bit cold, but I earned her a respect. And now we chit chat all the time. She sends me messages. Thanks for the tips. So an American citizen has no problem setting up a bank account.
Wait a minute. Vivian asked, can an American open up a bank account here? The answer is yes, but they charge. Again, they charge the Americans more money than they do as citizens. It's called a dossier, by the way. What they do is you go to the bank, and it's very funny, okay? When you go to a bank and open up an account in whatever town it is, that's your bank. The smaller banks don't talk to each other. Yeah. So you can go into a branch bank that you think it's a branch bank, and they're like, who are you, lady? So, but the answer is yes. Now, they also have student accounts for students who come here to study. First, you have to get a visa. First, you have to get accepted, then you have to get a visa. There's a whole process that you have to go through. Then you come here, and you can do that as well. But they don't pay any interest.
No, now look, my sister's standing right up for me. She doesn't flirt. She connects with humans. You know that. You call me the mayor of Arcitrezza.
Please. You don't think I don't know that, Bernadette? Really, okay? Esther is loved by everybody who meets her. She enriches people's lives. That's why. But the two fish guys, though, I see them. When I go in and she walks in, they're like...
Okay, Esther is right. Once they learn you live here, the price usually adjusts. Once you make friends with people who work at shops, they do become generous.
They do. That's absolutely true.
Jim Ingram, the joys of living in Sicily. Bombala too. Getting home cooking gas is interesting too.
Yeah, you're right. You talk about the propane, right, Jim? Yeah.
Life is all about relationships. Go, Esther.
Esther is the best. There's nobody better than Esther. Okay, nobody is better than Esther.
Oh, it is. It is about making relationships, but that's the case with everyone. Dan C wants to know, for U.S. citizens, if you keep $10,000 or more in the account,
that's a big problem.
You have to report it in your taxes.
Right.
The bank usually charges about €5 to maintain the account.
That's believe it or not, they did that in the States. That $10,000 requirement, they did that to prevent terrorism money going back and forth, or drug money going back and forth. Then 2 years ago, the American bank said, Internal Revenue said, anybody that wants to do business with us has to find our citizens and make them fill out a form. So my bank is Eurocredit. They found me, and I had to fill out a form, and that's it. But you do have to disclose it on your federal income taxes when you have a balance, even if it's for 1 day, over $10,000. So that's crazy when the euro goes up, and you think you have X amount of money, but then when the euro goes down and the dollar goes up, all of a sudden you're over that 10,000 limit. Even for 1 day, you're going to have to report it for sure.
A lot of people have asked me about making friends. How do you talk about making relationships, and how do you make friends? I think it's pretty easy, for people like us, because we are outgoing. But I found that joining a gym is a great way to make friends. I have lots of people that I'm friends from the gym. And also, like I mentioned earlier, just going to the markets and talking to people and getting to know them.
Listen, Esther, I want to say it again, okay? You have a purity of spirit that people don't have. I mean, me, I'm a grunge, okay? I'm like whatever the word is for an old guy, that's me. I don't, at this stage of my life, I'm not looking to make friends. I have my friends are my friends for life.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the market to go around and.
But it's not about that. For me, it helped with my language, right? Because
correct. You speak it right.
Because I'm practicing. A lot
Yeah.
of them don't speak English, so I'm constantly practicing my Italian.
Well, we have some
and
more
Jim
stuff to talk
says
about.
a couple of military credit unions has branches in Italy.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
good
Well,
source.
Jimmy, you know something? I mean, in SIG, they have their own banking information at the naval station over here. They also have their own markets as well. They have a nice market over here where they let their the active duty personnel and the defense contractors pay in cash money, dollars, not euro. So that's a 21% saving right there. And they have American products, which is unbelievable.
Steven said we're funny. I know we're
Thanks,
funny.
Steve.
Okay, now I missed. I saw Anthony. I think he wrote something about different kinds of cuisine, which is a really, really good point. And trust me, I'm not complaining because I love Sicilian food. I love cooking here, and I've incorporated some of my Hungarian as well. But you're right. I mean, there's no Indian foods. There's some Chinese, but you know what they do for an appetizer? They serve pasta. There's some sushi places, no Korean place. So there is a lack of ethnic foods here.
The Chinese are my favorite. They charge all you can eat. You know, those all you can eat buffets. 18 euro. That's $20. All you can eat, right? So you go in there, you sit down, you're trying to scope out the stuff. You see the stuff there. And as soon as you sit down, they bring you out, whether you want it or not, a ginormous bowl of pasta with sardines. Okay? So now, the Sicilian people are like, wow, pasta with sardines, and they chow down. So guess what? After you have a big bowl of pasta with sardines, are you really getting the mood for eating a lot of Chinese food that you paid 18 euro for? No. That's a smart thing to do.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Janet Lombardi, ciao. Hi, Esther and Alfred. I have to say, Esther, you look very radiant. Thank you so much. I have just joined sitting in my car. Ciao. Tanya is from Toronto. We're thinking of buying in Trapani. How are the heating costs at home? We are looking at homes 250 to 300 square feet.
I can answer that question.
That's a great question. Do people whole home heating?
Okay, here's what the scoop is, okay? My heating bill here is about $100 a month, okay? The reason is I don't put the heater. No, it's that we don't use much. The two of us do not use much heat, and I keep it set at 68, which is a legitimate 65 here in Italy, okay? It's because there's no insulation, it feels colder. The bigger the house, the more it's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, what we did about 4 years ago, I invested in a top-of-the-line heater. It's a small unit. It's about maybe 3.5 feet, 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. It's in the front. And it's basically on demand. So when you need hot water, it heats the water up almost instantaneously. Yeah. And I have radiators here, so it's the same thing. And you know what's good about the radiators that we have? And she's like, I don't think she ever saw that. I dry my clothes on the radiators like my grandmother used to do. We don't have a dryer here.
It's so funny. He'll go and turn the clothes around and rotate them. Dan C said, back to the internet, cell phone service in Sicily are much cheaper than the US, arguably better with the amount of data provided. Home internet is a plus, but cell service is very cheap. Yeah, actually, Dan, we talked about that last week.
It's a joke, Dan. You're right.
And if you're new around here, we come here, talk to you every Saturday or Sunday about all things Sicilian. And also we have our videos. And right now would be a good time to say, if you support our work, if you're enjoying this, please consider making a donation to our GoFundMe because it helps us offset all the costs.
Where can they find that?
Right at the top. I pinned it right at the top. Yeah.
Can I get back to the cell phone thing?
Yeah.
Okay. My cell phone with 100 gigabytes from Wind Tray, 100 gigabytes, right? Wind Tray, $22 a month, okay? That's local service throughout all of Italy and internet, okay? Right now, because the internet is so shitty, we're on my hotspot from my cell phone, okay? And Esther has one too. So we have two phones here that are Italian, but we also have 2 American phones.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people want to know, they'll send us a confirmatory text onto our American phone for some reason, okay? So we have to have those around. We have 4 phones, here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
The whole 4 phones is less than $100 a month. No, I'm wrong. My AT&T phone, which is in my bag, never open it. That's $44 a month. And I don't even use it, okay? And that's, I think, what the story is.
One more, let me just go
Yeah.
to another, we're talking about pros and cons. There are some foods that I do miss, back to foods, not just restaurants,
Foods, yeah.
but there are some things that I miss. You can't get, you can just recently be able to buy things like soy sauce. We even found some taco mix. I brought you this to show you this because we were shocked to find pancake mix. So, you've got your ribs. So slowly and surely, some American products are
Anthony,
coming
you're
in.
so right. I would love to have a good Chinese restaurant. No, I mean a good Chinese restaurant where you go in and people are Chinese, okay, not Italians, and a couple Koreans in the back, right? The best one we found was in Rome.
Oh yeah,
that was Chinese band. I'll tell you what it was. We went back there last year. I think it was 2 or 3 times, right?
Yes, Bern. I miss my Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, she misses, yeah. Donuts, period. I mean, donuts around here, there's no such thing as a good, or a muffin. There's no.
Well, it's now they started to.
They started doing muffins?
Yeah.
Or bagels. Tough finding bagels.
Bagels.
Yeah, bagels too. There's no, you can't get like an everything bagel like you could in some of these places. They have different stuff.
Yeah.
Though.
An American restaurant would make me happy. Anthony,
Where
did we find that?
That's not a bad idea.
Where did we find the taco mix? Oh, it was Conad. Conad have to.
Yeah, it had
maple syrup. Maple is like gold.
$12
here
a
for
bottle, a small bottle here. $12.
Crazy, right? You have to go to Rome. That's right. You have to go to Rome to get
Rome,
it.
Yeah, Rome has got good, wider variety. Me, I like Lebanese food, Mideastern food.
Tough to find.
Forget it. You're not going to find that here.
Hey, Tanya, thank you. We love your channel. It's very interesting. It helps us feel a bit closer to the island during these times we're unable to travel. So glad you're enjoying it. And folks, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so you get notifications when we upload a video or go live. Can we talk about driving?
No.
Because
all right, we'll talk about driving.
Because first of all, my first year, I wouldn't even get into the car, right?
No, you'd get into the car. You wouldn't get behind the wheel.
I wouldn't get it behind the wheel. But, after a little bit of practice, you get accustomed to some of the driving. But I have to say, it's still hair-raising in some of those ancient hilltop towns where the streets are this narrow and it's supposed to be 2-way, but only one car can fit through, right? Crazy.
There's a road sign. It'll say Centro. That means the middle of the town. That's like where the city hall is. But there's another sign when you're driving through these towns that says Centro Storico. That means the historic district of that town. Don't go on any historic district just with a car, because those are the old roads. And let me tell you something. I have gotten my car literally stuck. Massimo and I one time with his Land Rover, which is a car, it's a coupe, we got stuck between two walls like this.
How'd you get out? Someone must have had
so
to push
him,
you
we
out.
couldn't open the doors. We were like, what the hell are we going to do, right? So a couple of kids upstairs yelled, hey, you guys got stuck, huh? To Massimo, who says, yeah. So they came down. Massimo put it in neutral and pushed us out. But if that was the nighttime, we could have still been there, for heaven's sake.
Now, how about that story that one Sunday we said, okay, let's go for a drive and let's go somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And let's follow the sign. Well, we followed the sign. One time we hit a dead end. Then we followed the sign again. And the guy's like, no, that town is that way. We're going this way. Yeah. And Google Maps can kiss my butt.
You know something? She's bad. She's bad. I was in a beautiful little town down the southwest portion of the island called Sicily. Okay, beautiful town. I was following Google. I was up in the middle of the town, and all of a sudden, the road that she put me on stopped and turned into stairs. And if I was daydreaming, my car would have gone downstairs. All right, so it was crazy. You just have to be careful. I'm a map user, anyways. prefer maps than I do Google. The second reason is with Google, she mispronounces the streets. Okay.
What do you expect?
I mean, she says some words. I'm like, what did she say? And then by that time that she says them, we're like three kilometers down.
And some of these streets, they're narrow and they come up to you so quickly. But driving around here, you've got to have tough skin. Sherry says,
what about
I
the
love
motorcycle guys?
McDonald's donuts in Sicily. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. They do sell them.
The Big Macs are good here, too. I had a couple one
How
time.
about the French fries that have holes in them?
The French fries are good, too. And the other thing that was good at McDonald's besides the French fry, there was something else. They have great desserts. They have like cheesecake. You can get wine at McDonald's. You can get
that's like in Hungary.
Beer at McDonald's.
Most of Europe, most of the McDonald's
in
Europe
you can't
is
get
like
any
that.
of that stuff.
Dan says Lidl has different ethnic foods
Yeah,
from week
I
to week.
love
I know,
Lidl.
but
We
it's
go
not.
there.
There's not a wide selection. I remember when they had the Chinese when I bought like 5 things of soy sauce.
Do they have any Indian stuff?
What
Do
what
they
does
have
it
any Indian
mean?
stuff?
Huh? No.
Beef
never.
jerky. We have plenty, No.
Not
Joking.
funny. Not funny. Rosario Sanfilippo, what does it mean? Pros and cons. Pros and cons of living here.
Pros means it's great.
The good things and the bad things.
Cons means, okay, what are some of the problems that are living here? So what
we mentioned a few of them, about infrastructure. We mentioned about some of the language barriers, and here's the reality, folks. There's also a lot of trash on the ground,
Who?
Trash.
Yeah.
You come here and you go through some of the most beautiful places, and then there's trash on the ground, and they don't do a very good job cleaning that up, which is very unfortunate.
Listen, I'm going to talk to my pal Vivian here for a while, okay? Or other people that I love very much. It'll enrich your life if you're of Sicilian ancestry and you want to come back here. Not only that, but your stress level, believe it or not, will go way down. It's a much slower pace of life, okay?
And if you prefer that you can get that here. Of course, there are the cities where it's much more fast-paced. Catania, Palermo is nuts. Connie
Palermo is really nuts right now, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like this is like the COVID and stuff. Those people, a lot of the young kids don't pay attention.
I'm
to what the
saying
hell's going on.
that it can be. There's a lot of traffic in normal times. There's a lot of nightlife. It's a bit like, I'm not going to compare it to New York City because nothing's like New York City.
No.
But listen, wait. Connie says hello from Enna via Isabella. Just got home from the U.S. Long, stressful.
I bet it was Connie.
Sorry about that.
Sorry to hear that, Connie.
My 6-year-old David is asking if you like the McDonald's in Sicily.
Yes, very much. Better than America.
Ciao, Fred McNeil.
They use the beef. They use the beef not from Sicily. They use the beef either from the northern part of Italy or from Germany, and it's very good. It's very good, and the French fries are good too.
Angela Cross says, when driving, what directions app do you think is best? We use navigation system when we were there 5 years ago.
I use the Alfred system. That's me. So I just drive. I get lost. I ask Dove wherever I have to go. Sometimes though I have to use Google. We have the Google Map thing on our app. That's the one that we use. Other people use this thing called TomTom. That's another company.
I don't think they've been using that. The rental cars don't. I mean,
no, the rental cars. If you rent a car, you got to have your own beautiful
Yeah.
system over there.
Maria says Al handled himself very well with all the motorcycles. Well, he's best at cutting all in all.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
Sometimes I'll open my door though.
Okay.
If they go by, boom. You get
Dan
2 extra
says,
points for that.
Most cars are stick shift in Sicily as well. Good point. Anyone renting has to make a special request for automatic if you don't know how to drive a stick. And very few are available.
It is, listen to this. I found this out. It is scientifically proven that a stick shift, is safer to drive than an automatic.
Agreed.
Why? Because you have to stay alert. You've got the clutch to depress, the thing to shift, much more than an automatic. So for me, that's all I've ever driven here is.
It's more fun for me too. I like
Yeah, I
driving
mean,
it.
but you blow out clutches. I've blown out 3 clutches the last 5 years because I'm always like "Arrgh," before I take off, and I always leave in rubber plates too.
Tim
So.
DePetto says my grandfather was from
Vizzini.
Vini. I can't wait to visit.
Didn't we know somebody else from Vizzini?
I don't know.
I have to think about that.
Angela went
Google Map.
Okay, Google Map. I said that. Yes, Vivian Ericha is beautiful. I think I missed that.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Let me see. What else? Leave us a comment where you're watching.
Future dreams, Viv. Yeah. I mean, she's from San Vito Lo Capo. Come on.
You know what I want to do right now?
What?
I want to show you guys something that happened just before we went on air. Check that out. How beautiful is that?
Today.
That is the rainbow from today. That's our view from the upstairs. You guys many times have seen the view from the downstairs. So Jim Ingram gave me the idea to go upstairs and show them our view. And look at that. The beautiful rainbow was out. Isn't that gorgeous?
So
wait, Fabio wants to know, how do you transfer your driver's license to Italy?
Not good. You know how you do it? Okay, I'm going to tell you how you do it, okay? But don't tell anybody. Go to another country like Holland, for example. And there you can get a Dutch license. For some reason, you can get a Dutch license there. Once you get your Dutch license, then you can come here and there's no problem because that's part of the EU. If you want to get an Italian license here, you have to go to driving school, A, and then B, you have to pass a test in Italian, B, and then C, because they don't have any driving history about you, they put you on the worst classification, like a 16-year-old kid. So you're paying more for insurance and stuff like that. And they also put you on a horsepower restricted car. So if you come here with a nice car or you want to buy a nice car, for example, chances are you're not going to be able to drive.
Dan wants to know, can you guys talk about buying a car? I heard it's easier to buy a home than a car.
Dan, money talks. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you have cash money, you can buy a car here, chop chop. If you want to get it financed, that's a different story. Okay, that's a different story. And some of these guys in these car places, they're bandits. But some of these guys, like in the States, come on, and some of these guys are real good people. Okay, I have a real good friend, my friend Cologio. He puts together cars. The guy is a
Fiat. He restores Fiats.
Yeah, and I've had a car from him for many years. When it breaks down, he comes and he gives me a loaner car and he fixes it up, and I pay a third of what the standard rental rate is, a third. Okay, and that's it. I mean, and I can write it all off. How does that sound? So it works out pretty good for me.
Sean wants to know, have you ever done a tour of Alia? Most of the people from Houston, Texas who are Sicilian are from there.
I want to go there. I want to go there.
Let's see. Janet, can't the government step in and sort the trash out on the island? They're trying, but they've been trying. I'll give them.
I'm going to tell you why.
An A for a B for effort.
Not going to happen.
Trying.
2 reasons. Number 1 is controlled by organized crime. That's number 1. But number 2 is it's a political issue. So when the left is in control politically, the unions from the right know that the one thing that pisses off citizens is the garbage. So they do a slowdown. Then when they get in power, the other thing happens. It happens on the other side. So it's a political football. Now, some towns, the mayors of some towns, they try to do stuff. Like, for example, someone said about the dog doo-doo.
Yeah.
A lot of towns now are instigating €50 fines if they catch you. In our town, they're even putting closed-circuit cameras on the roads where people abandon their trash, which is good. They're also restricting at what time you can put your garbage out. Typically, it's after 7 o'clock at night if it's going to be picked up the next day. You can't leave it out there for the dogs to get. And dogs, like I had said this week, it's a sin. You talk about an enormous con, okay? What they do to animals in Italy, okay, is they ought to be horsewhipped, okay? Most towns don't do anything for these animals. Okay, well, our
We
good
do
friend in
have some
Connie
friends.
Katia broke my heart.
And Giardini Naxos.
And Giardini Naxos.
They're trying to rescue the dogs because it is a huge problem here.
It's crazy. Why? And then the other thing is people come here and on holiday, and then they get a dog, but before they go home, they abandon the damn dog, and the poor guy doesn't know when. And the same thing with cats. Dogs and cats. And in Sicily, believe me, there's some big, ferocious dogs. There's Rottweilers, there's Pit Bull Terriers. There's big dogs around here. So in my view, it's a problem. Now, in the cities, like the touristic places, you don't see that.
Right.
Okay, but you go into an urban area that's residential, and especially if it's high crime, just like in the States, right? You're going to see these types of animals, and you're going to see that a lot of them like don't have any homes to go. And if I was a bazillionaire, that's the top of the list for me.
Dan wants to know, how often do you guys go to the surrounding islands? I have been to Fabiana, but have heard they are amazing, many beaches. You know what? It's on our list of things to do. We have not gone.
We've been so busy chronicling Sicily, and we've put up 70 videos, and we still have a lot more to go, by the way.
Good point, Jim Ingram.
What?
Okay, he says, if the trash is in your house, it's yours, but once it's out, it's Rome's problem. Garbage has always been an issue. Now, let me tell you something that, didn't we talk to
Except when you try to burn it, Jim. As soon as you burn it, the cops come over here.
But listen, I mean, you still can get fined if you put it out, even though it's outside of your house.
I did a story one time in one of my books. On a Sunday, I didn't know about the rule. I put the garbage out. I felt like Alice's Restaurant, Arlo Guthrie. You ever see that movie? He puts the garbage out. I put the garbage out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Within 10 feet, I was surrounded by like 20 cars, all right, cop cars. Where's your license? Where's your this? Where you that? I said, what's going on? The garbage. I said, well, what's the story with the garbage? He says, you put the garbage out. I says, yeah, that's what the garbage is for.
Did you get a fine?
I got a 50-euro fine. They opened up a dossier on me. I had to go to the police station, right? I called Massimo, my law partner. I says, you're not going to believe this crap. He hit the roof. He went down there, and he blasted everybody from the minute he walked in to the minute he walked out. But guess what? I still had to pay the 50
How is boat ownership and costs? I do not know that one. Do you know?
Boat ownership, it's the same way it is in the States. That the happiest day that for a boat owner is the day he buys it and then the day he sells it. But over here, you can get boats it depends on what kind of boat you want, huh? You want a local boat, or do you want, a cabin cruiser, or over here, there's plenty of pleasure boats that you could buy for under 3,000 euro.
Maria, remember we went on that little boat trip outside of Acitrezza? That was so much fun.
How about you went to Isola della Femmina on a boat, didn't you?
No, that was that was Maria when we went over there to Acitrezza, and we went around, jumped in the water, and went into caves. It was so cool.
What do they put down on the Italian military boats? AMB. Do you know what that stands for? AMB?
No. I feel a joke coming on.
No. Like, United States ship is USS, right? HMS is Her Majesty's ship. What is AMB for?
What?
That's on my boat. That's on my boat.
What on earth do they gain from some of this political stuff when it can cause so much harm and discontent? I really hope they can sort this out.
Janet, can I answer that question?
Go for it.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. It's a different mindset than you and I have. Now, there are a lot of honest politicians. Let me say that. My friend Roberto, for example, is a great politician, but there's a lot of crooks. You know why? Because here, once you get into the national level, you get there for 2 years and serve 2 years in the parliament, or 3 years in the parliament. You get a pension for life, and it's a great pension. Okay, so they claw each other to get these plum jobs in Rome. Okay, and even here in Sicily, that's why. And then the level of graft and corruption, it's like when money comes from the EU, sometimes it seems if it's destined for Sicily, by the time everybody gets their hands on it and it actually arrives in Sicily, there's like, drip, drip, drip. It's not so much. So it's a problem. Corruption is a huge problem in Europe. But in Italy in particular, in my view, I think Italy's got some big
problems. Connie Milano, nice to see you here. She wants to know how the weather is.
Today
well, the weather's been good.
Today.
Tomorrow we're supposed to get heavy storms. And like we mentioned earlier, usually we come to you on Sunday, but we're coming to you Saturday because it's going to be crazy.
We didn't want to do that.
This is a great question. How is Amazon delivery on the island or online delivery? So let me say, first of all, that there is Amazon IT, but they do not have all the products that we're accustomed to in the United States. And now you've been reading about Amazon UK, right? Having problems delivering here to Italy because of Brexit.
Italy's putting a huge tariff on stuff coming in from the UK. Okay, and a lot of people buy stuff from the UK because they have a pretty good assortment. So, and the tariffs are really stiff. And not only that, they charge a daily storage rate too.
But this is just recently because of Brexit.
Yeah. In order to get something, if it costs $80 to FedEx a package, a letter package from the States to here, $80. To go from here to there, it costs $45. So I don't know. The postage system here stinks.
Well, right now it's
in my view.
It's right now it's
and
slow.
The postage system in the United States stinks, in my view as well. Okay, some people that we know were in New Hampshire, and they sent a letter from New Hampshire right over the border to Massachusetts. It took them what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks to get
Maria,
there.
yes, that was very cool. Loved everything about that day. Jumping in was great. Have I kept in touch with the boat guy and the woman? Yes, here and there.
Oh, that's
a little
is that
bit.
Maria?
That's Maria. That's our Maria.
Hi, sweetie pie.
Monica,
From Switzerland.
I was for 2 months in Sicily last year and loved it. Monica, where did you visit? Would love to know that. James said, if the job involved a uniform or green, white, and red banderole, Italian will do everything to get it.
That's because they're on contract. They sign an employment contract.
Dan says, Brico has Amazon
Brico.
Delivery boxes and collects deliveries.
Bricoman?
Bricoman, really? That's good information.
Wait a minute. Delivery boxes, but you can't bring something down there and help. They can't do the stuff that at mailboxes, etc., can they?
Hey, Erie time is from Via Grande, which is one of our favorite places in Sicily. We're about 15 minutes from here.
Cafe Una.
Love it there.
Great
Okay,
town.
friends.
Piccolo Mundo.
Oh, that's right. That's
I miss Piccolo Carmelo. He's a good guy.
Connie, on and off here in Enna, cold but fresh after California weather. I am enjoying the freshness. Yeah. By the way, Connie, we had someone on, one of our tour guides on from Enna. She had some great stories.
All right, let's do one more pro and one more con. Okay.
You go first.
I read that book. Over the Waterfalls by You Go First.
You go first.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, your sense of humor today is on fire.
You know, a pro.
Yeah.
The pro is spirituality.
Yeah.
I feel more spiritual here, especially in the morning, sitting on this deck with my coffee in the morning, watching the sunrise. I thank my Lord God, Jesus Christ, for giving me another opportunity to come here. In the United States of America, I was too busy and life went by, you know? I mean, just because you win the rat race, basically, you're still a rat, okay? Over here, I slowed down. And I know it's given me some quality years, okay? Guys my age, and I'm no young spring chicken, I know a lot of guys my age, they have all sorts of health problems. Well, I do have a little bit of health problems. I'm still ambulatory and stuff. I think that the spiritual component is very underrated.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. And also the grappa is very good too. If you drink the grappa.
By the way, Marta is here from Enna. So Connie and Marta, make sure you connect together. You know, right from the start, my number one is, family. Family's not here. So that's
huge.
That's my number one, number two, number three con.
Me too.
All the rest is nothing compared to missing my friends, but my family. But I do have to say that I'm so fortunate to have some incredible friends that I call my family here. Right. I have my Sicilian sisters here that I love, love, love. So, the pros and cons.
My treasured 15 minutes every day is my son Matthew. He lives up Newburyport, Massachusetts. He walks his dog every day at the same time. While he's walking his dog, he calls me on Facebook Messenger. And for 15 minutes every day, I go for a walk with my son, Matt, and it's like I'm there. Okay. So that has kept my sanity through this COVID thing, because, it's one thing to be here because you love it, but we like to go home too. I mean, after all, the United States of America is our home. Our families are there. And it's nice to be here. It's been now 2 years since we've been. Is it almost 2 years since we've been?
For me, yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half for me. I haven't been.
So, I mean, for me, the pros outweigh the cons. The big con is the family. But Sicily speaks for itself. It's beautiful. It's an outdoor museum. This is my 7th year here. Can you believe it? Wait, is it 7?
Oh my God!
It's my 7th year here,
and I'm still. You have to pay rent tomorrow.
And there are still some magical places. For me, this truly never gets old. Period.
And it's good for your spirit too. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. Another pro, Dancy. There's always a celebration festival going on. It's a sagra, the celebration of foods, or a festa, religious festival. I love that too, Dan. Given weekend, there's a great celebration somewhere. Food, music.
This year, they're all very, of course, because of the virus thing. I mean, St. Agatha is one of the largest festivals in Italy. They canceled it yesterday.
In the world, second largest in the world. Yeah. Second
They're
largest.
They're going to have a private feast.
Well, it's a sign of the time.
I have my own opinion.
Dana says, we love your perspective of Italy. It's a pleasure listening to both of you. Thank you so much. Couple more. Martha, Dana said, no, we love it. I already heard that. Ornella, good evening, Ornella. Nice to see you again. Let me see here.
A lot of people here today.
Stephen Dominici. I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing it. Watching you two live is a fun part of the week. Thank you. Grazie mille.
We've had a pretty good week too. I want to just say another pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Esther, when she came here 7 years ago, because she lived with her mom used to do most of the cooking. Am I correct in saying that at the house? So over the years, she has developed into a superb cook.
Thanks,
and she's willing to try stuff. What was a new thing that we had this week? We've had
tacos.
We had tacos.
I've never made tacos before.
Tacos. What do we have the week before that was new?
Oh, I made the Hungarian goulash.
Hungarian goulash. What's this insane kid from Lawrence, Massachusetts doing eating Hungarian goulash? But it was delicious, right?
On that note.
All right.
On that note. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me, and Sicily. This is Esther and Alfred.
Don't forget our Facebook.
And don't forget our Facebook
and don't
page.
forget our fundraiser, because we're in the process of upgrading all our equipment so we can come to you more often and with top-of-the-line software, and that's exactly why we're pushing our GoFundMe. So if you can throw in a few bucks,
we appreciate
that would be nice if you can do that.
Arrivederci.
Peace be with you. God loves you. Ciao.
Ciao.